everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at Brick Fair, Alabama, and I'm with Chris from Bricker Builds. And you might have seen our video we did with them a little while back showing off some of their awesome products, but they've got some new incredible builds on display here that they're going to be talking about. So why don't we start with this build to our left? What do we have here?
Yeah, so this is the Master Chief helmet it's actually based on and inspired by the Halo 3 game, which is classic. Obviously, the new one just came out. But yeah, we went with a lot of the design elements that are from the helmet that I think people love the most. We went with dark orange and sand green because I think these colors look really, really nice together. And it also gives it some, it stands out from a competitor model that has come out, so that's good too. It comes with a stand, and so it can attach here. And then the stand actually, this is convenient for us as people that bring this to conventions and stuff like that. We transport it a lot. So the stand actually connects in here. Let's see if I can get it. And I'll show you in just a second. All right, so that's what it looks like with the stand connected. So it's a little thing that makes life a little easier if you're trying to transport this thing, because it is very sturdy, so you can transport it. Some other fun things about this one, you've got the data chip that comes out of the back. And we actually blew this data chip up so that we could do a life-size build, and I'll show this up here. So this is Cortana, who is coming out of the data chip, and yeah, this is actually really fun because it's posable. We've got the map. What is this? The slipped to my mind, but the green thing that comes out of her hand, and yeah, so she can come off of here. I can actually, one thing I want to show you is just what it looks like when the data chip is taken off the stand. So this is fun because it's like a little trinket you can have in addition to having the Cortana. Yeah.
There's so much playability, and the posability of Cortana is fantastic as well.
Yeah. It's all built around the size that we needed to have articulated joints, so you can pose her in, whatever way you want. We have a fun pose that's kind of like standing up like this that looks quite I don't know what the word is, but it looks really, she's got a very nice feminine figure, a very nice cool stand, so yeah.
So obviously, like, the new Halo game came out recently. A lot of people have been big fans, so I'm sure there are a lot of people very excited for this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gotten a lot of attention on Instagram. We're excited about that one.
And talk a little bit about the design process if you can, because this is something, there's a lot of strange angles with this helmet. There's a lot you have to capture with Lego that is not easy to do. So what were some of the challenges with that?
Absolutely. So we worked with an Australian designer named Lewis Meany, and he's been working with us on previous projects like the DC-17 blasters that we showed off in the last video. And he's got some real talent in working with real small details and capturing really accurate details with, the bricks that we have to work with, which aren't the entire brick inventory. It's really the ones that are, that we can get in massive bulk so that we can make these available to multiple people, and so that people can buy the instructions and find the bricks online. So because of that, we have a limited brick supply that we can work with, but we still get to get these awesome details. Like this one is really fun. You've got the, I don't know if these are breather chips or whatever, breather apparatuses. But it's actually got a reference here too. So you don't notice this when you're looking at the model, but as you're building it, you'll have the blue accents inside here. And on the other side, you got the red accents for red versus blue. So that's a
meta reference sort of.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's also really satisfying to click these in at the end. This is like the very last step of the instruction manual.
It all comes together so nicely when you add those on the sides.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. So what else do we have that's new here then?
Yeah, so one of the newest releases we have, which is very relevant to the newest movie that just came out, is our SpiderMan bust. And you'll notice we did kind of like a torso up. So really, this could be your favorite Spider-Man, whether that's Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. But anyways, so some of the fun details we added here, as you can see on the front, we really spent a long time tweaking the webbing to make sure that it looked the most accurate that it possibly could. And so you'll see a lot of snot building techniques, which is where as most of you guys probably know, it's where the studs are facing all kinds of different directions. And that allows us to get cool patterns like the webs going in different directions that aren't straight up and down. And so I think what we set out to do is do the best Spider-Man mask that's out there built out of Lego. And I'm really proud of how it turned out.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. It's almost like you guys plan out these releases around popular movies and games,
It almost feels like that. It does.
But it's wonderful what has been the response with people at the show as they see this build.
Oh, yeah. Spider-Man's definitely one of the most popular. You can tell there's still buzz around the movie. I mean, I've seen it, 2 or 3 times now, so it's an incredible movie. It's just really fun to see all 3 of the Spider-Man together.
Yeah, well, fantastic work there. What else do we have behind us?
Speaking of seeing multiple Spider-Men together, we have the Miles Morales bust right here. This one, actually, you won't see this on our Instagram because we just built this as a color swap to see kind of how the Miles Morales looked, get an idea of how people reacted to it, and if people are interested, we might actually release this thing. So, yeah, this is just another variation. There's a huge Miles Morales fandom out there. I love the animated Spider-Man. I forget it.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes. And I heard the new trailer's out. So, anyways, it's very much in the news right now, so we had to do it for this convention.
Yeah. So talk about kind of that feedback process then. You kind of listen to what people are interested in. How does that work? Where can people kind of give feedback on what they might want you guys to do?
That's a great question. So we have an Instagram. It's @BrickerBuilds, and we have people that are just there talking to people on DMs, engaging with comments. So that's a really great place to get in touch with us if you want to suggest a model. We actually, speaking of suggesting a model, we just had a fan-voted bracket where we put up probably 24 models, and we had our entire fan base vote on which the next model that we released would be. And actually, it was Iron Man that won. Okay. So you can expect to see an Iron Man coming soon on our website.
Yeah, that's awesome. Get the fans involved, and then you also know you're trying to sell products, obviously, so you know what people are interested in.
That is super helpful too, because we want to sell products that people want to buy, that people are interested in. So, yeah, I mean, we always listen to comments and DMs, and we get inspiration. Like Spider-Man, Miles Morales were suggestions, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're tapping into the popular fan cultures here, and I think people probably love this stuff as well, so it's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
What else is back here then that we want to focus on?
So I can show Piplup and Turtwig real quick. I'm not sure if they're in the last video, but yeah, so we have Piplup here, one of the Sinnoh starters, and this one's really fun because this is one of the first models that we did that actually has either articulation as some sort of feature. Obviously, you just saw the Master Chief with that, but it's got the flapping wings. And you can hardly tell, and you might not even be able to tell in the video, but the mouth opens ever so slightly. So that's fun too if you want to make him whisper to you. But yeah, so this one's super cute. We love Piplup, and then Turtwig came along with it, and we actually announced this at Brickfest in October. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we have Turtwig here. He's very sturdy. Even though he doesn't look like it, he's not going to tip over. He's got the leaf ears. Yeah, they're posable.
I love these models because of how much color they add to your selection. So obviously you've got the Star Wars helmets, which are built beautiful, but a lot of white, maybe some gray and that sort of thing. These models add so much color to the selection here.
They really do. Yeah, if you look at this place, we got Marvel, like Nintendo, Pokemon, like the Master Sword. Yeah, lots of different colors that Star Wars, blacks and grays. I'm more of a Batman kind of person. I only build in black and very, very dark gray. But I do branch out into a lot of different colors when, for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. So I asked you earlier about kind of the response to the Spider-Man build, but as people come by the booth here at the show, what do you notice kind of the adults gravitating to versus the kids, and which models do people kind of notice at first?
That's a great question. Kids always jump right to the Pokemon and the Pokeballs. Okay. We're handing these out to kids to be able to hold. Even the Mjolnir and the Cap Shield we'll give to people to hold, and I can show you what that's like. But yeah, kids gravitate to whatever they can hold. I've noticed that for sure. And then these are cool, and kids oogle over them. But then when I pick them up and I show the back, that's when the parents get excited because they see we can hold this too.
It takes it to the next level.
Right. Right, because it looks super fragile. Like you've got a whole bunch of plates, and you wouldn't think you could swing this thing around, but you really can. Like, give it a good swing.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I just cut myself, but yeah. And then you got the hammer. So this one's fun. Since we've been doing a lot of conventions, we thought it would be a good idea to get some of the Lego Masters from the TV show to start to sign this thing. So we've got Manny and Nestor Garcia. We've got Mark and Steven, they're here today, and we've got Zach and Wayne. So it's a work in progress, but we're going to get all the signatures from the Lego Masters on this guy.
Yes, I love it. And you look so amazing there holding that. I mean, what a perfect image.
Yeah. It's super fun. I feel like I'm worthy, but I'm Captain America, and he is worthy. So
There you go. And it's so sturdy because you can see how you're just holding this and swinging stuff around, and none of it's falling apart at all.
Actually, I can show. Did I? No. In the last video, I showed the inside. So if you want to see the inside of Mjolnir, go check out the last booth tour.
We'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen that one to see more of what they have here.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really interesting how we did it. It's again, another Australian designer, Dave Holder. He worked with us, and he's an engineer, and he figured out some really interesting tricks in this one to get it to, yeah, really be. I mean, I swing this around like I'd swing around a prop. So.
That is perfect. So while you're putting that stuff away there, what else is there at the booth that is new or that you wanted to make sure we pointed out here?
Yeah. So I want to take you down to the other side of the booth. There's something over here that has not seen the light of day online yet.
Oh, I love exclusives.
So this guy right here, we've been teasing it on our website for a while, saying Boba Fett's coming back, because we did do a Boba Fett helmet in December of 2020, and eventually we knew the Boba Fett TV show was coming out, so it just warranted us to take another look at this thing. So we took that helmet off the website, and this one is going to be, I don't actually know an exact day, but it's coming to the website really soon. And honestly, I was telling you this earlier, I think this is my favorite model we've ever done. This thing is so cool, and it's packed with features too, which makes it really playable and enjoyable. So I can give you guys a little look through it. So we've got the dent up here for Boba Fett. This one's based on the new TV show, the Boba Fett TV show. So it's got the red markings on the side, which is post-Sarlacc, because his original helmet had the yellow ones, the yellow markings here, which actually, that's another fun thing about this helmet, is that these inserts are actually double-sided, and so you can choose whether you want it to be the original helmet with the yellow lines or the red ones, and I can actually show you inside. Yeah, you can see. So if they were flipped around, you'd have the yellow ones. So it's customizable in that way. Another fun thing about this one is that you've got the stand, and it holds it the perfect height to be on a shelf or whatever. Something else that's fun, if you guys are familiar with the UCS AT-AT, which is an incredible set, it comes with a screwdriver just like this. And so we wanted to implement this cool little build and to give it to use it to give our set a feature. So you can actually twist this piece right here and turn the antenna down.
Whoa, that is sweet.
Yeah. So that's super fun. It comes with a lot of fun tricks like that. And also another fun detail to show off is how even the back of the helmet that barely gets seen, it's got quite a lot of cool details there as well. And there's for you as well.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, I can see why you're such a fan of this one. It looks it looks incredible.
Yeah, and so we worked together. So we started with Bricker, the software, gave us a rough idea of what the design would look like, and from there we sent it to our designer from Australia, and he absolutely crafted the heck out of this thing. And it just, it's really, really accurate, even down to the shaping on the back. It's got this, we took a lot of time making sure that the silhouette was as perfectly accurate as it could possibly be, and we used some snot techniques here just to add a little volume and get it to be a bit more rounded on the back.
Well, these are all fantastic models. I love how much effort you guys are putting into all these models and all the new stuff that you're releasing, and the fact that you're continuing to come out with new stuff so consistently, listening to the fans. I think they love that. So for people who want to learn more about you, check out the products, what are the best places to do that? Yeah,
so best place to go would be brickerbuilds.com. That's where we sell our instruction manuals and bricks included for those models. So if you want literally everything you need to build one of these models, we'll send you the bricks and an instruction manual that's super easy to follow. In fact, I was going to introduce our instruction designer to talk about that, but he ran away. But yeah, that would be the best place to go, would be brickerbuilds.com. I would also say our Instagram is super fun to follow because we'll post engaging content. We're all on Instagram talking to fans. Like we said earlier, oh, here he is.
He's returned just in time. He knew you were looking for it.
Chase, I was just telling him about the instruction design. So you want to tell a little bit about what makes our instructions intuitive?
Yeah, so we use this platform called Bricklink Studio, and we use it. They have an instruction generator, and when I was first hired, we didn't have any standard for kind of what it is. We had a little bit, but kind of trying to figure out how do you make instructions for something that's so big and so time-consuming. And so where did I turn? I turned first to YouTube.
That's where everyone should turn to.
I mean, honestly, everything's there. and found a few tutorials, and then I was like, okay, well, this doesn't look as good as it could. And so then I just like over time started learning like, okay, well, this is a trick you can use, and this is a trick, and now I have like 10 studio files for every single thing in order to get like the designs exactly as perfect as I can get them.
How many files did you use for just the Pokeball that's like 160 pieces?
For the Pokeball, I think it was 4 files because I wanted to compress it. I didn't like that it was there was like 2 steps that I wanted to be 1 step, and Studio wouldn't let me put it onto like 1 page, and so I basically just kept creating files until like and screenshotting different things until we got to where we got. So it's a long process even for something small like a Pokeball, but I think it's worth it. It makes it the best we can do.
Yeah, at this point, Jace is the master of creating instructions, and he's been actually taking under his wing a new guy, Tyler De Silva, and he's been knocking it out of the park as well, doing our instruction design. So if you do get one of our models, you're gonna, I think you really will be blown away by the quality of the instructions that we do.
Yeah, and for people watching out there, we'll get comments on a lot of our videos about like, oh, are there instructions for this? You know, where can I find instructions? And as I'm sure you can speak to here, it's not an easy thing to do, right?
Yeah, it's very time consuming. I mean, you want details, and like you have to look at it and be like, okay, how can anyone build this? I want a 6-year-old to be able to build a model that's like 4 feet tall. And so you have to look at it and like every single step of like, oh, there's too many bricks on this step, I'm gonna move it. So it's definitely a whole process, but it's what it takes to make our instructions as great as possible.
Yeah, it really is an art form at this point with the way that we do it. So at least that's how we approach it. So.
It's great that you guys put in so much effort into that side of it as well, because that for the person at home building, that's a big part of the process. So that's good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, fantastic. Glad you can make it over. Glad we could hear from you. Obviously, a big part of the process is the instructions. So thank you so much to both of you guys. This is fantastic. I always love seeing what you guys bring to shows here, and look forward to seeing you at more shows in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for swinging by.